People that achieve the most in life are the ones who believe they can. Our thoughts dictate how successful we are, how happy we are, and much of how healthy we are. With the right mindset, we will have the motivation to make a plan and the discipline to stick with it. How many times have you heard this? People tell you that with the right mindset, with the right way of thinking, positive thinking will drastically change your life. And they're right, but there is one important condition, that it is very difficult to change your mind and how you think. And I'm here not to talk about the law of attraction. I'm here not to talk about the positive mindset. I'm not here to talk about the discipline or other tools for self-improvement. I'm here to talk about something that changed my life and will change yours for sure. 99.9% that it will. This is therapy. High quality therapy can change anyone's life, the quality of life, and I think it's very important that people understand that no tarot reader, no astrologist, no psychic will change your life the way high quality psychotherapy will. Because psychotherapy, it takes years for people to actually get the degree, to get a certain amount of hours of practice. It's a real job with real results, and I'm the living proof of that. I've moved around the world. I live in numerous countries. I went through different heartbreaks. I was diagnosed with bipolar. Before that, I was diagnosed with depression. The only stable thing in my life, now that I think about it, is therapy. Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and welcome to my channel. And in this video, I'll give you the exact specific algorithm of how you can find your specialist, your psychotherapist. And before we proceed, don't forget to put thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to make sure that you don't miss any other videos that will be coming in the next month. So why did I decide to do this video? Because I have lots of friends that come to me, they see the changes in my life, and they're like, Lisa, what can we do to have the results like you have? Like, what keeps you going through all the mess you've been in your life? And I give them the answer that this is psychotherapy. And then another question comes up, how to find a psychotherapist. And I thought that every time I tell people the same things, like 5 things that they can do in order to find their specialist, the one that will be tailored for their needs. So I decided to share with you guys. Maybe it's going to help you to find your specialist, and it will change the quality of your life. I really hope, and I really believe that it will. And just a tiny disclaimer, I'm sure a lot of people who will be watching these videos, they are, as myself, they're immigrants, expats, digital nomads, which I presume makes them speak multiple languages. And my honest advice would be to choose the language that you're most comfortable with. I mean, your native language, if you have one. I'm sure a lot of people can consider themselves a bilingual. I even read a very interesting book called Bilingual Mind, which basically says that if people speak more than one language, they're more likely to make more rational decisions using their second language, whilst in their native language they're more emotional and more impulsive. And this is exactly what you need in psychotherapy, because your gut, your intuition will be more connected to your, so to say, your native part. But this is just a tiny thing to keep in mind. So the first step is actually to do your homework. I know not a lot of people like this word, but you should understand that there are different types of psychotherapy, CBT, Gestalt, psychoanalysis, and many more. So you need to understand, at least in theory, how it works and for how long you might be involved in the therapy before you see the first results. Of course, it will depend on your situation. Of course, it will depend on a specialist you find. There are multiple factors that will affect your result, so to say. However, I tried different types of therapy, and I realized that for me personally, Gestalt is the best, because it's a little bit similar to coaching, where you're dealing with the problem right now with the resources you have, but at the same time, it does not mean that we do not go to the past to explore what might have affected my present. The second step is, of course, to find a platform where you can search for these therapists. And I know that in the US, or probably in Europe as well, a lot of people will be use BetterHelp or Psychology Today, or maybe there are other resources and platforms. platforms that you can use. For example, I'm originally from Russia, so I chose a platform called ответ.co, which helped me to find a therapist that I'm still working with for the past 4 years, I think. So making sure that you can find a reliable platform or a website or an app for that sake, it will allow you to have a choice, and a choice of people with real licenses, with real education. So this is also an important part, to make your research of different websites, or maybe you can ask a friend who already has a psychotherapist that might help you. Basically, asking around, doing research is very, very important. The next step might be a little bit weird, might be a little bit controversial, but I'm so grateful that the first time my mother thought that I should need psychotherapy, it's the time when I moved abroad to study at the age of 14. It was very difficult for me to process the changes in my life, that they were very rapid, very big. And when she asked me whether I would consider psychotherapy, and she thought that this tool might help me to go through the hard times, she told me that I probably should also pay attention to the photograph of the therapist that I'm choosing from. I think I found a very beautiful phrase describing why some people resort to psychotherapy, because they either want to find a mom they never had, a teacher they never had, or a friend they never had. So choosing a specialist by looking at their picture is important, because subconsciously you want to trust this person. You want to make sure that this person has a connection with you. And let me tell you, I'm sure everybody will agree on that sometimes we can see a person literally just for less than a second, but subconsciously we already know if we will get with them or not. So a photograph is a very simple and a very underestimated tool, but it is very important to see whether you feel a connection with this person. Even though it might sound counterintuitive and not logical enough, but trust me, the amount of times my friends experienced not being connected to their psychotherapist, and one of the reasons we encountered was that there was something about their appearance or how they look like. Even body language is something that you can read from the picture. So the next step, imagine that you found the right website, you have an idea of which kind of therapy might help you in your particular case. You found maybe 3 or 4 therapists that look nice and you think that you can connect with them. Now it's time to look at their bio. By bio, I mean which education they have, which specialty they have, which certificates they have, and whether they have a supervisor or not. The last point of supervisor is very important, because every trained psychologist, practicing psychologist, usually they have a supervisor, because they also need to bounce off ideas about their clients with somebody else. So whenever I see that there is no mention of supervision, it will make me concerned, because I don't know whether this person is really working on his craft and his ability to be the most effective therapist to their clients. A lot of websites, I believe, they now ask for people to actually upload their certificates of education to make sure that these people are qualified to help you out. And for example, some of the people will probably say that they're a CBT therapist or a Gestalt therapist, but at the same time, they probably received a certificate in, shall we say, art therapy. This is a bonus. It's really good, because you can see how well-rounded your specialist is. But if they don't have a medical, the core education, it cannot be considered a professional psychologist, psychotherapist. So this is something you really need to pay attention to. Art courses are amazing, and the more tools that they can employ while working with you, it's great, but it should not be their main source of education. And last but not least, let's imagine that you found a good-looking person who has necessary education. They have probably the specialty, the area, for example, eating disorders, family issues, depression, bipolar, whatever it might be. In theory, you believe that this person has necessary skills and education to help you. You can ask them for a task call. I know that most of therapists, they would not do free calls, because it's their time, it's their investment into your situation to understand from their side whether they believe that they will help you out. But investing in that first call is very, very important because it will get you a real idea of whether you click with that person or not. And I think in most cases, it happens instantly. And just to put it out there, some people have very different tools that help them out in difficult situations. But if somebody asks me for my best investment advice, that would be psychotherapy. If you are thinking investing in, a luxury bag or traveling around, that might be okay. But especially with luxury things and material things, they won't make you happy. So trust me, you better invest those money in 10 sessions with the high qualified therapist that in the end will probably get you 10 luxury bags, 10 cars, a partner of your dreams, and your relocation to the place of your dreams. So make sure that you understand the value and how it can change your life. So coming back to the test call or the chemistry call, it is okay. Sometimes it might happen that you had a call, you realize that there is something wrong, that it doesn't feel right. And that is okay. Please never give up. Calling and finding just one person does not mean that there is no other therapist in the world that won't help you. So believe in the process, try it out if you've never tried it before. And if you have any doubts of whether it's your tool in regards to anything in this life, you better try and then make conclusions for yourself if it works for you or not. It's one of the easiest actually tools that you basically pay someone to talk to you for 1 hour and they give you enormous amount of useful tools and provide feedback that probably none of your friends or relatives can give you. It's an acceleration button for me. Whenever I'm stuck in life, I know that I can press on that. I can make this call probably to see the things that I don't want to see, probably cry with someone who will basically just sit and I'll literally pay for that person to hear me crying out. But at the end of that conversation, by miracle, I know that she helped me because one question, it's not like, once again, people do not give advice. Like professional psychotherapists, he is not allowed to give you advice. It's not in their ethics, but they will provide you with some questions that will lead you to a certain way of thinking and it can change your life. So it's an acceleration button. And of course, it adds up to your emotional intelligence. I think in the world, in the upcoming age of AI, and people losing their jobs and rethinking of their value in this life, the emotional intelligence, the soft skills, they will come in handy so much. And because once you understand your emotions, you can also understand other people's emotions. In the end, you can have better quality of life, better relationships. And our life, basically, be it your work or your partner, it consists of relationships. And also, I've been in a situation, I understand what is happening. I know everything, but nothing changes. I try to do different things and still nothing changes, even though I think I realize everything. Well, my friend, this is a sign that you need to go to therapy because there is definitely something you missing out, something that you don't want to look at subconsciously or consciously, and another person will basically mirror your problem and you'll finally be able to see what is that. Or another beautiful metaphor can be, that something is at the tip of your nose, but it's so close, you cannot see it, you cannot find it. So therapy, once again, is a tool that can really help you, for example, avoid some mistakes that you've probably made, or if you made one, it can make you heal easier, better, and quicker. So the bottom line is, if somebody asked me what is the true key to success, I would say therapy. Of course, it hugely depends on how you define success, how you perceive success, and all of those questions that you might get after you go to therapy. But looking at my personal life experience, for me, the true success is your internal happiness. If you're mentally healthy, if you're mentally stable, if you have loving friends, you have good relationships with people, and you have this happiness internally, it is true success for me. So I really hope that this video was useful to some of you. If you have a friend who is considering going to therapy and they do not know where to start, this video might help them out. So I'd really appreciate if you can share it with them. And if you have any other questions, suggestions, feedback, or your success stories, please write them down in comments. I really want to hear them out, because therapy is something that genuinely changed and supported me in my worst times of my life, and I've been through a lot. So if you see this video, probably it's a sign to finally try it out and see it for yourself that it can help you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel not to miss other videos. And stay beautiful, stay healthy, stay mentally healthy, and take care. I love you, and remember that we're all in this together. Bye.